Don't go anywhere. You're listening to BeefBoys. Please don't leave. Select your character. Doplex. Doplex and feature team. Keep stitches. How will you order? Keep Miller. Kilo.
Yellow guy show.
What?
I was watching a Subnautica video the other day, and it was like this smaller YouTube channel, and the guy, like the video went big style, even though he's like a smaller channel. Shout out, he's a cool kid. He's like younger, and he's foreign, and he tried to say the word meager, and it definitely ended up. It was more like the EI or whatever in meager. The EA was definitely hit more of like an EI sound, and the M was like his accent very much like is like closed mouth, so the M and the N could be basically the same letter to him.
Situation.
Yeah, no, so it basically sounded like he hit the N-word, and every like it was his first video that went big mode, you know what I mean? But every comment is just about him saying the N-word. It's so fucking fun. Just the idea that like after years of work, your channel finally gets traction, and it's half of it is just because you almost said the N-word. Yeah,
You're the N-word, man.
that's pretty awesome.
I found this Warhammer lore channel years ago that was like, it's an Australian guy. I was researching Warhammer lore for a video, and I started one of the videos, and it like classic YouTuber thing of like just complaining in the first like 2 minutes about like YouTube taking their videos down or some shit. This
So
dude
fire.
just like literally screaming like the F slur. Just like
What the
YouTube. And this is like a big chat, like it's still a big channel to this day. I'm not saying it should be fucking cancelled or whatever. It's just funny
Let's
that I was like,
cancel him.
whoa, what the fuck? I clicked on this
Yeah.
this Warhammer lore video. This dude's hitting slurs in the first 2 seconds. I guess it was like an old ass video, like 10 years old or something. But still, it's like, you just don't expect that, I guess.
Yeah, it's like seeing puke in an old video or something.
Yeah, where you're like,
I went to
what a relic of the past.
Speaking of puking videos, Grog did a party at the gaming bar in Melbourne a couple weekends ago.
Poop.
And I nipped up at like 11 at night. It was close to wrapping up. Picture a bunch of Cold Ones fans. Okay. Put that in the mind's eye. Now imagine, so they can't drink, but they want to drink.
You
like
just
Max
know
and
it
Chad.
stank in there.
It did. But also,
Imagine the smell.
but you go there. No, there's some very nice people. I'm being facetious, but there was definitely like a portion that's like,
what?
I'm not a social person, but I want to drink like Max and Chad, and they did, and they could not hold it, and I literally was walking to the hallway to go to the bathroom, and like literally dead center like a roller coaster tycoon, there's just a huge pile of chunder that you have to like sidestep around just to get to the bathroom, and I'm like, how bad is it that you couldn't even get to the toilet that was like 2 feet away?
Dude, I was throwing up so hard yesterday. My chest
You're always
hurt.
throwing up.
Andrew breathed the wrong way and started fucking throwing up everywhere.
Yeah, no, my stomach is fucked up. But I got back. I
You
just
Just lean
go
into it and
Bell
become bulimic
specialist.
at this point.
I was thinking that.
Andrew's
I
like
eaten a bunch of Taco Bell, and it all came out, and I was like, well, this might be a pretty sick life to start.
Andrew lost like 40 pounds in the last like 2 years, and he's like, I haven't really changed much. I don't really know what's going on. And it's like, I've just been violently vomiting 3 days a week. Right after I eat. It's crazy.
You know, some people make a whole lifestyle out of that.
They do.
Anyway, I was throwing up
Useful.
Taco Bell so hard it like hurt in my chest, and it was projectile. It was hitting the back of the
There's a
trash
full taco
can
lodged
That's so
with
awesome.
force. It was like
I've only had one of the like 2 of those in my life, and it's always like, damn, this sucks that I'm throwing up, but this is a pretty cool moment for my stomach right now.
Yeah, no, it's an impressive
like my stomach
amount
is
of
breaking.
hydraulics.
It's like this is my stomach's peak power for the rest of my life, and it's
this
using
is a
it.
cool thing I'm doing.
And you
here.
feel great.
Oh yeah, it feels awesome.
You're like, that should not have been in there.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
The ones where it's like you gag yourself and then you just get really like gaggy and then you just throw up to get like those are never that satisfying. But like when you're too drunk or like but like when you're too drunk or you've eaten something that you shouldn't have, it's like you hit a nice fat vomit and you're like,
This
oh
one was
yeah, that
from
was
nicotine.
That was like, life is fucking good. I don't know, but I've never nicotine vomited, so I don't know how satisfying those are.
It's
Pretty much every time I have done nicotine, I've either vomited or been close to. I fucking hate nicotine.
Me too.
It's weird. It only happens every once in a while if I smoke with the neighbor because he basically
What?
smokes spliffs. He just chops it in there.
I thought I hated weed for ages because I mostly smoked spliffs because that was all everyone around me smoked, and every time I did, I'd get like real lightheaded and my stomach would feel churning. I'm like, I hate
Yeah.
The problem is you never smoked with your neighbor. I think that's the thing that's
Exactly. Yeah,
holding
you
back.
you didn't have a
That's true.
50-year-old Lao
You didn't have a
Asian,
neighbor
Lao
to
Asian,
smoke
Lao
with.
Asian,
Lao Asian.
Lao Asian. Dude,
Lao
I'm
Asian.
actually
You know,
I'm
a
not wrong.
50-year-old loud Asian.
You don't.
Loud.
Actually, he's not loud. He's actually a quiet little guy. He's a chiller.
He smokes
but
spliffs.
no,
Of
I
course
came
he's
back
quiet.
in. It doesn't feel amazing afterwards.
It does.
I was pretty full, so like it kind of worked, but like a normal one can hit you even if you're not overly stuffed from Taco Bell. So
Yeah.
it can sometimes not feel good. Last night it was kind of nice because then I wasn't
I
full
didn't
anymore,
get
and
an
I just had a little.
You're like,
little
oh
bagel
man, my
to
stomach's
settle my
really sore.
stomach, yeah.
Oh, is my low Asian friend outside?
Where's my low Asian? I can't see him.
Where's my little Asian?
How
at?
tall
Oh,
is
you
he?
look
Is
down
he
at the
low?
ground, you're like, oh, there he is. He's so low.
He's dig-
He's
yeah,
one
I
he's
did
foot
have a
digging through
fun
the
little
grass.
political discussion with him. It was I can't remember. We were just talking about shit getting expensive up here, and he just goes, "That dumb motherfucker Trump,
Oh, that's fire.
it dumbass man."
It would be funny if he was like a real staunch conservative, you know?
It would have been, but no,
He loves
he's
spliffs.
he's lived a life. He did like dynamite stuff for seismic shit.
Oh, sure. He's like a
So
He's
he would go out
living
to,
up
like,
to the the stereotype
yeah, no,
of his people.
he's literally a little powder monkey.
Oh my God, is that okay to say?
Are you allowed to say
No,
that?
that's not a
Is that
slur.
true?
That's a job for people who like did the dynamite.
But did they only name
doing the math.
did they only name it that because of a bunch of imported Asians in 1850 had to do it? You
That
know
would
what I
be
mean?
a
Like-
funny way to discover that, but I think it got put on anybody with the job because
Oh,
I
fair
remember
enough.
seeing it applied to white guys as well. Did you ever hear about fragging? Like not just grenade, like killing someone with a grenade.
Yeah, when I play Counter-Strike, I'm always top fragging.
But I just discovered this. It was a common practice in Vietnam against
So when
American.
they threw grenades.
It's like they'd roll it into a commander's tent because during the Vietnam War it got so bad for the Americans and the generals, colonel, whatever the commanders would pretty much do anything to win a battle at the loss of soldiers, just regular kids who got drafted during the Vietnam War. So they started just killing commanders because it got
Good.
so bad there to just be like,
It-
this guy's
it
going to get us
blows
all
my mind
killed,
that
so we're
that
just going to
didn't
roll a
happen
grenade into his
more.
tent, and that'll take
Yeah.
care of that problem.
That's pretty
It's like
fire.
That was
that
crazy
never
in
got
World War
taught
One.
anywhere.
In World War One, like the fucking trench warfare, where they'd like just send literal like hundreds of thousands of guys over into like machine gun fire, being like, "Well, the first 500 assaults didn't work, but maybe this one will get through."
This
And
one's
it's
going
like,
to be the one.
I think it was.
Why would you not just shoot him? The one guy who's telling you to run into machine gun fire. Fuck that! I'll shoot him.
I think people
Probably
then
wouldn't, but-
were so staunchly driven by like pride and honor
That's true.
that you basically just do anything and die knowing that the worst thing that could happen is you not have like pride and honor, and we've definitely lost that
It was
over
also a
time, which
good
has
war.
made it was a more just one for sure. But I think like going to war for something like
World War
Vietnam
II
and like
was.
so many other things, World War II too, but like that was kind of eroded over time. And it was good at first because it meant more like personal freedom and like self exploration. But I think now we've gotten to the point where no one has any pride or honor in anything that they do, and it's like ruining society and making it hard for anyone to have any compassion for anybody else.
Men used to
I was thinking about that today. It's like maybe the trade-off of just running and dying for no reason out of pure hubris was a good thing, because then if those guys didn't die and they came
a
home, they
Dodge
had like
Charger.
self-respect and they would like be they would like think about their own decisions more and like not just like do anything that every rich guy ever born told them to do, because they had like more like they had like pride and shit.
I think the like
I was
World
thinking
War
about
One
that.
was obviously one of the most pointless things in all time. It was literally just a bunch of European kings being mad at each other, and then millions of people died in horrific ways.
So many
And
people
then-
dying that like to get new recruits near the end of the war, they had to be like, okay, guys, I know I know every other guy in your village who went got fucking
Is
massacred, but
gone.
we promise we're not doing that
No,
anymore.
they were like
that's the shit they had to do. And,
they were
and
like,
at
can
the
we
end.
can we take a pause on this for 20 years until we can grow some more?
Yeah, we need to grow some more.
And then
boys.
literally
Grow
20
some more
years
boys.
later hits and World War II. You know, like that's what I've
Yeah.
always looked at it as. It was like, oh, we ran out of guys. Let's all reconvene in like
Pick
20
this
years.
back up in
We're
2
all like
decades.
45, so like half of us will still be here, but we're still too old to fight. So we'll circle back. We grow some new ones, and we'll do this again.
Yeah.
Yeah, those
Do you think
several
do you think
wars.
most of those wars? Do you think it would have happened if they had PlayStation?
No,
That would happen
not.
because, well, video games cause
Hitler
violence,
could have
so
just
it would
freaking
have actually
chilled
happened
out and
sooner.
played some Mario Bros.
That's what I'm saying.
PlayStation.
You know?
I think
Yeah.
video
Yeah,
games is one of
yeah,
those things
Mario
where
and
it's like
PS4.
you start enjoying something so much that you see the value in life, and then you're afraid to die.
That's what I'm
you know
saying,
what I mean?
bro. That's
Yeah.
what I'm
It's like those
saying,
guys
bro.
didn't
That's my
really have
point.
that. It was like maybe you get like a couple good spurts inside a pussy like through your whole life, and that's like the
Right.
peak of
Yeah.
like
Yeah. There wasn't much to live for.
what do you call it? It starts with an H. It's like fucking. It's like it's like taking joy in like the fruits of fucking being human. You know, I forget what it's called, but no, it's something else. But it's some shit
Serotonin.
that like Christians say about basically we should all hate why we were alive. I feel like video
White
games and
guilt.
movies and shit were like
White guilt.
I feel like video games and movies were like, oh, there's so much cool stuff to enjoy and explore, and books. It's like I want to do this forever, and then everyone was not chill about dying anymore. Like I think the Vietnam War was like, well, doesn't everybody just like kind of want to die doing something cool? Like isn't that what everyone's done like every 20 years for the last 500 years? Like we just seems like
Right.
everyone wants to do that.
50,000
But then the
years.
70s,
Yeah, you
the
go to
70s
war
hit. It's like,
and-
wait, I was just growing up listening to the Beatles and doing acid and watching movies, and like TV
smoking
just got
Vietnam
color,
weed.
and like now you want me to go to like potentially die
in
and
a
blow
jungle.
up? And they're like, yeah,
Fuck
that's
that.
what everyone you've ever known has done, right? Isn't it cool? Like doesn't your family
Yeah.
remember all those guys and
You
they're so
don't wanna
cool?
do this
And it's like, yeah,
anymore?
but what if the Beatles get back together? You know,
Yeah,
what,
what's
if,
that
what if I
reunion
don't
tour,
know
dude?
that happened? And they're like, oh shit, you're right.
The
Damn, you're
Atari
right.
2600 is right around the corner. I want to see what that's all about. No,
No,
do you reckon?
they were
Honestly,
excited
I
for
think that
GTA
was
6
the big.
back
It was
then.
like we
Yeah.
started enjoying things, and it was like, oh okay, I don't want to die.
How many
Yeah.
people do you reckon
Exactly.
you can actually track like military registrations, new boots going out?
Absolutely.
But wait, let me say this again because
Yeah, let me go to boots.com.
How many
go
people?
to boots.com?
Do you reckon there's going to be a massive drop off in new applicants to the U.S. Army until GTA 6 comes out? Because all these dudes will be like, I'm not going to
I
fucking
think so.
die before this fucking game comes
I-
out.
Probably, yeah.
I'll do
Honestly,
it
I'm
after
not
that.
risking World War
But I'm
III
wa-
before
I-
GTA
Yeah.
6.
I'm
That's
sitting in a
Okay,
bunker
Grok.
for a year.
When was the latest GTA released? When everybody signs up to go to Afghanistan?
Grok, when will I die?
Gork, please give me the answer.
I think that
yeah,
the
it is.
Gork.
If I'm being honest, GTA 6 pretty lit. War,
I
not
think
epic.
I think the big resurgence of war in like the 90s and 2000s for like everyone to sign up and become jarheads.
War never
I think the
changes.
difference was at that point they could basically pretty provably say like, all right, we're so much more advanced than the people you're about to go to war with. Like,
Yeah.
your KD will be like 1,000 even if you die, and it's really rare that you will because we're so much like we're basically just gonna stomp the life out of like children the entire time. And they were like, oh, okay, well I could do that. I
can do that
Wait,
easy, man.
Wait, so you'll pay
Children
me to
that'll
do
go
that,
on
then
to
pay
do
me
that
to go to
anyway.
college, and then I get to come back and play GTA and see if the Beatles get back together? I was like, oh, okay,
Ain't get a
cool.
Dodge
This is
Charger?
awesome.
No, I do like because I think World War One is kind of talked about as like the first modern war, but it was also at the tail end of the last of kind of that European way of fighting. So
Oh,
it
yeah,
was
dude, it's so funny. It's like they were
beyond
starting
bloody.
wars-
Like it was just the
Well, I
worst war of
challenge
all
you to
time.
duel.
And then they waited 20 years to have more guys, and all those guys were like, "Well, they did it, and it was probably not as bad as last time, so I'll do it." And then World War II ended, and I think everybody was kind of like, "Damn,
That
Most
sucked
of the
too,
world
actually.
is gone. And then Vietnam
start
happened,
ones-
and like you were saying at that point, it's like, bro, I got shit to live for. What are we doing?
Dude, have
in
you
the
ever
jungle?
have you ever seen a fucking
falling into shit?
Have you ever seen one of those Volkswagen vans, dog? I want one of those.
I want to smoke weed in
You
that
can't
with my
kill
boys.
me, dog. I want one of them.
Please,
Start of World
Ho
War
Chi
One
Minh,
was
let me
fucking
go
funny
home,
because
dude.
they were fully still fighting like the Napoleonic Wars, so they were like rolling up in fucking like bright colored outfits with like the officers had fucking like big feather caps and shit, and they were
Bro!
like marching in big lines into German fucking machine guns, and then just getting fucking mowed down. It's like, oh, okay, there's no honor in war
The
anymore.
French, the French had an air force where they would do runs over people, and because they didn't really have bombs dropping from planes, it was just knives. They just dropped buckets of giant like knives.
Oh,
That would suck.
and
that's
just
kind of
shoot
worse.
through people.
I think I'd rather
so
get
much
bombed.
worse.
That's fucking terrible.
Yeah, bomb is
Yeah.
over like that. You take a knife through the gut.
No, you
from,
get hit with like 3. You know what I mean? Like it's like one like cuts your
Yeah.
arm off,
Like
and then you
Boromir.
get like one in the spine.
Yeah,
you
like
can't move.
really
And
inconvenient spots.
yeah.
I was
That
thinking about that with
would
like shit,
suck.
like naval combat
One
back
through
in the
the
day where
foot.
they'd run out of cannonballs and they'd just start putting like fucking knives and forks and like whatever crap they had sitting around the boat and the cannons
Yeah.
and shooting that. Like imagine getting hit with just shrapnel, just missed shrapnel. That would
Of course,
suck.
the
Yeah.
famous Battle of New Orleans legend where they took an alligator and stuck cannonballs in its head and set it off.
Is that real?
Jesus.
Well,
It's a famous legend from the Battle of New Orleans. It's referenced in the song "Battle of New Orleans" by Johnny Horton.
what does a legend mean though?
By Coolio.
As in, it could be true, but probably not.
Probably not. Yeah,
Probably
no,
not,
that
but-
didn't happen.
Probably not, but how cool would it be if it was?
But how
That-
cool
that's
would
pretty
it
much
be
a
if
whole
we
legends.
fucked up the British with an alligator cannon?
I don't think that cannonballs explode. Like that's not the explosive part of it. It's the
No,
it's all the
they
shit
put-
you put behind it.
Yeah, no, they put the cannonballs in, and then like the legend is
No,
they
they
put
didn't.
gunpowder in the other end and shot it off.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did, bro.
They
I'm
did
choosing
not
to
do
believe
that.
it for the rest of you're an
Mythbusters, you
American
need to come
patriot
back.
hater, bro.
I'm sorry. Look, New Orleans are the fucking the way that
take my gator gun, bro.
dude, I'm a Yank. I don't. New Orleans are an America. Like that's not my history. That's the fuck everybody like south of fucking Delaware.
Bro, this is long enough. This is when we were fighting the British.
Delaware?
This
Nah,
wasn't
fuck,
this was
everybody.
pre-Yank
I don't give a
v.
shit.
South.
You're too far away from me. You're not one of me anymore.
I
If we
can't believe
if we met
this.
each other 200 years ago, we would have been shooting guns at each other. Isn't that fucked
Yeah.
up?
one bullet per like every 2.5
That would
minutes.
suck.
I'd be
I mean,
fucking
you
pissed
three
off if I had
would.
to fight you guys.
You 3 would. I'd be like fucking.
Well, no,
I mean, I don't know, where did brown people go?
no. Well,
There's a
if
Mexican
me and
war too,
Andrew,
don't
if
worry.
me and Andrew
Sacrificing people
survive,
at your temples.
if me and Andrew survive, we would be fighting Andrew like Doplex like 30 years later in the Mexican American War.
That is true,
Yeah, we'd be fighting
That's
each
a good
other at
point.
the Alamo.
Yeah.
Well, I'd pick a different spot because then Doplex is going to win if it's the Alamo.
Yeah, no way.
Yeah, it's fine. I always
don't
think
wanna
about that.
freaking
Like, you know,
lose.
when you see like those, it's like those like fucking propagandists like, oh, the 1950s were so epic.
Yeah.
Milkman and fucking Beautiful Lawn and all that shit. Like
Oh,
that looks so
everyone's
cozy.
white.
Dude, that's so funny that is exactly what the whole vibe. It was like blonde wife, picket fence, lawn, milkman.
Yeah. Milkman.
America.
I know, yeah.
Someone should do a sketch
Yeah,
where like a
exactly.
girl's like talking to a genie. She's like a trad wife from like TikTok 2025. She's like, Genie, I wish it
Right.
was 1955 again, and I had like a nuclear family. And then it's just like a hard cut to her getting her fucking face beaten in by her husband. It's just like immediate jump cut to just her
Exactly.
face
Her
being
husband has
caved in and her
PTSD
dying.
from the war.
Yeah.
Yeah, from Korea.
She's on a concoction of 18 like amphetamines that the fucking like doctors prescribed her because she has
cocaine gum.
yeah, she's got what is it, hysteria?
Yeah, she's got
woman
yeah.
head.
Yeah.
She's got the melancholy. Give her this gum.
She's
That's
got
why-
melanin.
That's why I love. That's why I love L.A. Noir. Like it perfectly crosses that fucking line of like, you know, you have your cozy fucking postcard nuclear family time trope, you know, where it's like all cozy and like this is what Los Angeles looked like back then. But then you also show like, oh, this is how like women and minorities were treated. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like sometimes I'd be thinking like, man, I would love to go back in time and like just fucking chill, you know, in like a
You
buy a
fuck young
house for,
boys,
like,
Mr.
$300.
Rodriguez.
But yeah, exactly. I'd be like, wait, I can't do that because I'm brown. It's like, man, it's kind of
Depends
nuts
where you are,
to
I
think
suppose.
about.
The beauty
Yeah,
of
the
LA
time
Noir is that
Yeah, we would have fucked with you.
Right.
The
That's
beauty
true.
of
That's
LA
true.
Noir is
I would've
that
let you in my house, dude.
The title's exactly the same in
Expos.
France.
Oh, really?
Yeah, over there it's Lenoir.
Oh, Le Noir.
Le Noir.
Yo, speaking of fucking French, Expedition 33. Have you guys played it yet?
Oh, yeah.
You guys
No.
on that tip?
I've been trying to avoid
Man.
finding out too much about it because it's something I definitely want to play.
Me
but
too.
I've got like 4 other
Right.
games I'm working on right now.
Same.
I'm grinding
Sure.
through. But
Yeah,
I
I'm
did
finishing
it's
up New
high on
Vegas
the list.
again and Oblivion.
That's
Oblivion,
totally
you-
understandable.
dude, the
You got this.
remaster. I haven't had that much fun in a game like it. Legitimately feels like the first time playing Skyrim. I love the
Yeah.
extra RPG elements that Oblivion has. Just with like
Very fun.
you have to find people during a specific time of day, all that. Like it's. I feel like it did that a little better than Skyrim did.
Yeah.
Also, just so varied with like
Yeah.
all the shenanigans and shit
Dude,
they
there's
make
so
you do.
much
Like,
goofy shit. I love it.
I do wonder if the Oblivion remastered is like, if the reason why it feels that way is because it has a new coat of paint. You know what I mean? Like, I was thinking, because like I was also like really enjoying it until I jumped into Expedition 33, and now I don't really want to play anything else. It's
Yeah.
like it's like this weird thing
I
where
don't
it's
wanna
like,
play with
you know,
anymore.
you jump into like, because I literally jumped into like 4 games at once. Like I went from fucking Baldur's Gate, or no, I went from fucking Astrobot, 'cause I'm like, all right, I want to try Astrobot, and I went to Baldur's Gate, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be in this for a minute, and then Oblivion came out. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be in this for a minute, and then fucking ending it with Expedition 33. I'm like, I don't think I could ever even play another video game after
I've been
this.
the same,
I got
man.
too
It's
many
been, like,
games.
one after the fucking other. I was like, finished Ghost of Tsushima, then Assassin's Creed Shadow came out. That was really fun for like 80 hours, but I couldn't finish it because it gets really fucking boring in the second act. And then fucking
Right.
started playing Dark Tide with my boys, which I still am, but that's more of like a multiplayer game on the side. And then I've been playing
Yeah.
Oblivion on stream and off stream, and it's like, fuck, there's so many fucking games I want to play right now. And then I've also told my friend I'd buy Monster Hunter because apparently that's really good, and he's a big Monster Hunter fan. And fucking
New
there's just
Doom is
so
coming
much.
out, and it looks
Oh yeah,
fucking
New Doom's coming
sick.
out. That's right.
New Doom
See, that's
coming
why
out.
I'm,
Looks sick.
Marathon coming out.
I'm totally fine with GTA taking another year, especially now that
I got too
Subnautica
much
2
to catch up
coming
on.
that
out.
trailer today. Yeah, which we'll talk about the
Subnautica 2
trailer in a
coming
second.
out.
But yeah, like there's so many fucking bangers, and we haven't even gotten to Summer Games Fest where like a lot of the announcements happen, and the fact that GTA was delayed, like a lot of other game companies were sort of hedging their bets on like GTA releasing in the fall, which is obviously normally when a lot of like big titles come out, like, you know, around the fucking fall towards like the end of the year, the holiday season, like just
Yeah,
make, you know.
getting into
So I feel
Christmas
like
time.
now that GTA has pushed out a whole other year, like so much shit is gonna drop this year, especially
We'll see
after
a
like all
lot
the
of-
announcements that are
I
coming.
feel like half the
We're
reason
definitely going
GTA
to see a
did
lot
that
of
was because
stuff
they're
announced in the next month because there's like apparently so many companies were waiting for for GTA's release date to finally
Exactly,
solidify,
yeah,
to
that's-
figure out like when
right.
are we going to drop ours, because nobody wants to be like within
No
like
one's
fucking
gonna
12
wanna
month
compete
radius
with that
of
shit.
GTA 6.
Yeah. Right. I did see there is one company that's like doing the opposite, which I think is working to their, it's Devolver Digital. I forget what they make, but
Oh,
they're
I
basically,
love Devolver.
Devolver does-
Call to the
yeah,
Lamb
Devolver
is
does tons of cool shit.
awesome.
Oh, Cult of the Lamb. Okay, yeah. So their plan
Call
is
of
to
Lamb into the
drop a
gungeon.
game the same day GTA
I
comes
forgot
out.
they did Enter the Gungeon.
Yeah, so like
yeah, they're like
now
the
that
troll
fucking-
meme. Like their whole marketing thing is being like memers.
yeah.
It's-
so
they're cool
gonna,
company.
they're
I
trying to
like
drop
their
a
Yeah,
game.
they are.
Yeah, they're trying to drop a game the same day GTA 6 comes out, which I think is gonna like kind of work in their favor, just because, you know, it's
Called
like
It's pretty funny.
PTA
Ballsy, you know?
6.
that would be funny.
Honestly, I
actually.
think half the reason GTA pushed was because they wanted. Rockstar loves awards and they want to be able to win without any competition.
I
Because
would-
this year is about to be a
that feels
crazy competition for game of the
The
year.
thing is, they don't even need that to be the case. I mean, it's gonna win regardless. You know what I mean? It's GT. Like even if the
I
game
heard-
fucking sucks by some, like I feel like it's still
I don't
gonna
know if
win.
that's true.
because
If it was like a movie,
No,
maybe.
actually,
I don't
yeah,
think
I
that's
take-
true in video games at all.
Yeah, I take that back. Yeah, because I feel like with how much hype and how long it's been cooking, I feel like
James
somebody's.
Mad dogged you big time,
I'm
man.
just,
You got up there.
dude.
No,
like,
no,
didn't the fucking PlayStation game where it's like the little gay PlayStation avatar win game of the?
Yeah,
you know what
that's
I mean?
what
Like
I
there had to have been something bigger that came out that year, and that dumb shit still
There-
won. It's like
Shout out Astrobot.
Well, the thing is,
Boy.
Astrobot probably deserved to
I'm
win.
an Astrobot
See why
hater.
not.
That's like the
you hate on
Xbox
a
logo
single
winning
guy.
winning an award. That's I don't know. It's just
Xbox
it's so
logo.
like consumerist to me that it's like the PlayStation logo made a game that won an award. Like fuck off.
Well, so what it is, the thing I like about Astrobot is like he's just like a little fucking tech demo guy that came with the PS4. Like, this is how your fucking
PS5.
well, no, he was on the PS4 as well, wasn't he?
Oh, was it?
Like part of the because I think PS5 it was like yeah, on the PS4 he was in that little VR thing that Chris Chan would play with, and then like
Oh, sure.
and then on the PS5 Astrobot, yeah.
My favorite guy.
And then on PS5, it was the tech demo, but people really liked because the tech demo was genuinely really good. It just felt like a classic Sony like platformer.
That thing was fun
And
as
so-
fuck, actually. Me and my
yeah,
boys,
so-
my friend came around and we just 100% did it one day.
Yeah,
That's
it's
cool.
it's really fun. So like a lot of people were like, "Can you guys just make this into an actual game?" So they did, and it just felt like playing a game, you know, in like the 90s or whatever. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah,
like
it
just
does
felt
have
like
a very
classic,
old-
just a
standard video
fun
game.
Platformer
Yeah.
type
I saw
3D.
someone would say it was Sony made their first Nintendo game and it got Game of the Year.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe, which is why I respect it, because like especially just the way the industry is like, and this is also why I love Expedition 33 is because like in an industry right now where it's very much like games that feel like they're made on like a factory line versus things that are actually made for the sake of the art. It's like, and when I say that, I mean like there are games that follow very specific like fucking formulas, and like it's just it's boring to me. This is just my opinion.
putting
but, like,
data
to me,
and
it's-
pronouns
I don't know.
in.
I feel like the last few
No,
years have
I'm
been
not talking
fucking
about that.
awesome.
No, they have, but I'm saying like the last few years, like just with the fucking uptick of like indie games fucking slapping, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people realize, okay, people don't want like, you know, fucking constant like battle pass microtransaction, the usual like rinse.
I mean,
and
all
repeat
those,
type beat, you know
but
what
it's
I
the
mean?
same thing we were talking about with. I want to let you finish because I'm interested. But it's the same thing we were talking about with like Katy Perry. You know, there's just like Neander. We were talking about this
Yeah.
in the bonus. So if you want this conversation, Patreon.com/BeefBoys.
Patreon.com/BeefBoys.
We were talking about how like half the world is like are Neanderthals and homosexuals. Like there's
Right.
just like people that exist and they don't have like higher
Forgot about
thinking.
it.
Where are the
right.
homosexuals? In
Yeah,
case that
obviously
wasn't
we're
clear?
intelligent,
Obviously we're the homosexuals.
higher thinking creatures.
Right.
But and we were saying like
Yeah.
like a really stark difference of that is like it's like who the fuck do you know that listens to Katy Perry? Nobody. But like all of those people,
Right.
like they're so hyped at the Butterfly tour right now or whatever the fuck. And it's like I feel like it's the same thing with video games. Like people definitely have
No, it
realized, I
absolutely
guess,
is.
like let's fund indie games. You know, like let's make them not so indie anymore and just like give people with good ideas some budgets, which is totally cool. But
Right.
also I think like the battle pass games or like the yearly slop like sports games in COD and stuff are like
Right.
they're doing better than ever. You know, it's not like they're just doing fine. They make more money
Yeah.
every single year. So it's like I think the industry is just so huge now that like there's just enough room for everybody. But it's I don't
Yeah.
think anyone's
It does
really,
kinda feel like that.
in my opinion, realized much of anything other than we have more money to go around to smaller projects too, because those games are generating more money than any indie game ever will. You know, every year
Right.
on the year. So that's
Yeah.
just my 2 cents.
Sure, yeah. I think for me, it's just like, you know, when you see like a lot of like the big showcases, right, that happen where it's like they announce all the games that are coming out. I feel like the past few years, it's been a lot of like really fucking, like me personally, I fucking hate hero shooters. Like they're the most bland,
Like Overwatch
fucking
and
boring.
Marvel.
Yeah, Overwatch.
Dude, that is
Marvel
yeah.
Rivals, like
I'm right there
that
with
to
you.
me, that is Neanderthal gaming. Like it's Twitch streamer fucking.
I hate
I
it.
like them.
Twitch streamer who wants to
I can either
pretend like
play
they've
them
played
for, like,
video games
long
before.
periods of time, but I do like them.
I fucking
They're-
despise it.
Yeah,
They're fun
dude,
I can
They're
see
just
why
so
someone
many
likes them, though. I'm
friends.
not saying, yeah. I've even
Sure,
tried it with all
yeah,
my
I
normie
get the
friends, and I'm like,
appeal.
I want to kill myself.
Yeah, like dude, back in when did Overwatch 1 come out? Like I remember playing that
2016,
with
baby.
my was it really? I think this
Overwatch
was
was
longer
fun
than
when that first dropped.
Overwatch was fun
I'll
as
stand
shit.
by
But
that.
see, when I first
Yeah.
played Overwatch, I'm like, what is this? Like, this doesn't, like, this feels, like, it was new, sure, but I'm like, I don't see the longevity here.
Did
and
any
boy,
of you
was I
guys play
fucking
Team
wrong,
Fortress?
because holy shit.
No, I hated Team Fortress 2
No,
growing
I never
up.
played Team Fortress.
Damn,
Yeah.
I fucking love Team
I
Fortress.
wasn't-
So I
I don't
spent
think I ever got into
hundreds
that.
of hours.
I've
in that
never
game.
played it.
I fucking love Team Fortress 2.
Is it?
Was
that
there a
what it is? Is
mobile
it
like
a hero shooter?
It's a hero
iPod Touch
shooter.
version back in the day?
No.
I swear there was an app version that like just ripped off TF2.
Bro, I mean,
I remember
maybe
a
there's
friend of
something
mine
like
being
it.
like, "Yo, you should play this."
TF2 is
It was
definitely
like-
like the inception point of all those kind of games, and I give it
Right.
credit, and I give the first Overwatch a little bit of credit, like, and I can see why people like them. So I'm not saying it's like devoid of like art or something, or like liking it is stupid. But I personally
Right.
just they make me
Yeah,
they make
Doplex.
my fucking
Homosexuals
eyes.
play
No, I'm not
too.
saying Doplex is saying that either. I'm just saying
Can I
because I
say-
don't want to
can-
insult
just
kudos,
out of-
but I'm just saying like they make the
no, I'm not
gameplay itself
insulted. I'm
makes
just
my
curious.
eyes just like glaze over. I
I'm just
hate it
curious
so
how.
much.
I'm
Yeah.
curious. This isn't meant to be like I gotcha. I'm genuinely like.
All right,
what,
for me-
what is it about something like Call of Duty that you enjoy compared to something like Team Fortress or Overwatch?
For-
Like, what is
for
it about
me-
the difference between those two?
I was just about to say because I didn't want to go into it too much, but if you
Yeah,
ask,
you had
I
a Philly
shall.
accent on that go.
Fuck you.
Go. Go, birds.
No, I
dude.
want to know because I have thoughts on that as well. So I want to hear
As
James'
as a gamer that grew up competitive fucking shooter gaming,
gamer.
I look at it as like you're trying to package this like it's made for like you're trying to package this like it's made for like girl gamers and like 12-year-olds and like people whose mom won't let them play Call of Duty and all this shit. Like you're trying to package this like the most like Disney-esque thing ever, but also the community of it and the gameplay of it and like, you know, the way that it got so big in like competitive spaces. It's like it's just as competitive as Call of Duty, but it's like made in a way that's supposed to appeal to everybody, and it just ends up
Yeah.
feeling like it like goes in spite of itself. Like the community is so toxic and horrible and competitive, but the game itself is so like frolic in the daisies, Disneyland.com type shit. And to me, it's
Sure.
like if I want that vibe, like I'll just go call people slurs on Call of Duty and actually like look at something that looks cool. Now that was up until like 2017, when now Call of Duty like on day one
Call
is
of
like
Duty became that.
you shoot like pink guns that turn people into goo,
Yeah,
and like
exactly.
Nicki Minaj like rips
Yeah.
her
Got
ass open and queefs on
Fortnite-ified.
your face in like the
Right.
fucking kill cam and shit. It's like, you know, like
Yeah. I
that,
have
like
that one
that is
recorded.
fucking. I hate that shit. So
Like, did you
so
guys-
I've kind of lost that. So for me, like CS is my
Yeah.
only respite at this point, and I only play it like every
Right.
few
So
months
it's more
when
of
I
an
really want.
aesthetic thing than like a gameplay thing for you.
It's
It's more
just
like a vibe thing.
It's
Which is
that,
totally
and it's
fine.
that, and like a
Just-
marketing thing of like the aesthetic was obviously something they did on purpose to appeal to everybody, but still deep down, it is just like the most toxic
competitive
fucking
shooter.
freak assholes anyway. Like, you know what I mean? It's like it's
Yeah.
trying
Yeah,
not to be itself. Like it's
That's
it's,
why I never
it's,
played
it's,
Ranked.
it's
It's made
covering up
more-
all of its like fucking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
See, I think it,
nowadays
I think
it's made more as a product than an experience, and that's like kind of the problem with like a lot of games. Like Crocat put out that fucking video that like it was it Crocat? Yeah, it was it was like the comparison of like Call of Duty World at War versus whatever the newest one is, and
I haven't
just like
seen that. I have to watch that.
it's
Crocat
really
does
good
such
because
stuff.
Yeah, his
yeah,
stuff's
and
really
he doesn't
cool.
say a
Watch the
word in it.
streams
He
today.
just like puts it side by side, and it's like you watch that, bro, and you will literally be fucking blackpilled on the entire industry as a whole. Because it's like, holy, like, how did we get
No
here?
offense,
What
I
the
don't need
fuck?
to watch that. I feel that deep in my
No, yeah,
soul.
fair-
Like
Fair
me and my
enough, yeah.
friends talk about that every time we get drunk. Like it's like so depressing.
So off what James was saying before, not to throw everything you just said
Yeah.
in the bin, Doplex, but what you were
No, you're
saying,
good.
James, I think like I see what you're saying. I do think that those aesthetics, I don't know if they definitely are like like mass market or whatever the fuck, but like I guess any major AAA game is going to be. I see the reason why they chose like those kind of cartoony aesthetics is that it means like that game can just exist for the next like 10 years. Like Overwatch 1, those graphics still look good today. World of Warcraft, even the fucking classic game, it looks shitty around the edges, but it's like it's still, because it's stylized and cartoony, that game still works 20 years later, you know. And I think that was probably what they were going for with Overwatch and what Valve is going for with TF2. It's like, instead of having to release a new Call of Duty every year where we have to fucking put in a new bloom filter, we can just have this one game that looks good, continues to look good, and we can just update it continually. I think that's
But nobody's gonna play like older Call of Duty games at this point. You know what I mean? Now, because now it's kind of like
that's what I'm saying.
sort of like
Overwatch
No, but that's the
one,
issue.
I've watched it. Yeah.
That's bro. I
Yeah,
want
sorry.
to play though. I'm just like, I think all those old games up until up until Call of Duty Ghosts, all of those games actually did have an aesthetic, and it wasn't just like, look at this, look at the sweat on this soldier's brow. That is the coolest thing. Like, they actually did have like an aesthetic and an identity, and the identity was like, I haven't watched that Chromecast video or whatever, but like those games used to be like military simulators, like made by dudes who like just got back from Afghanistan and shit. You know what I mean? Like the studios were very much like these like handcrafted, like
getting funding
tight-knit
from the U.S. government.
Well, yeah, totally. To talk about the ethics of it like all you want, but like
by the Mujahideen.
the games are very much like made by people who like respected, I guess, like warfare and like dude, some of the old Call of Duty and Medal of Honor games, the stories were like some of the most hard-hitting shit I've ever fucking seen on the horrors of like modern war and shit, and or like post-industrial. Yeah, no, like they were incredible, and like. And then obviously the multiplayer was awesome and everything. But the thing was they took what was they didn't like change anything going to the multiplayer. Like it was still just like the core of it that was like it really like stuck to its guns, you know, fucking yeah. But I don't know, like it. And then at a certain point, it wasn't doing that, and it was just like, look at the graphics, look at the guns, look at Nicki Minaj,
look at the Nicki
we got
Minaj.
Travis Scott. And like,
will do.
Like that is the same reason that I don't like the Overwatch stuff. And on top of it, like I don't know, I mean, I just don't like the gameplay, but the community, like you want it to be like this fun, goofy thing, like the same thing with like Marvel Rivals, and then it's like it just ends up, it's this gameplay loop that is like more intoxicating and infuriating than like any game. I have more fun playing like 2K getting called like a fucking, you know, inbred motherfucker cracker, you know, by black people all day than fucking playing Overwatch and like having a fucking 14-year-old stuff-nosed nerd like tell me that I'm a pussy and I've never fucking kissed a girl.
Look at this guy.
It's like you have dudes that look like XQC trying to call you a pussy or something. You know what I mean? It's like
I think for me it's like I've never in my life once.
At least on Call of Duty, it's like a dude who's about to like go buy a Dodge Charger and they get blown up by an IED. You know what I mean? Like at least it's someone with like at least some kind of nutsack.
Can I be completely honest with you?
Hit it.
I have never played Overwatch, Marvel Rivals, anything with voice chat on for even 1 second.
I haven't either. I never do.
Okay, well,
and it's great.
But they're very much
every game.
I'm not just saying that it's like I love talking shit, so that doesn't really bother me. But it's just that it's the whole game like shoots itself in the face, like it goes against its own ethos. Like those games are always, I don't know.
They are hyper competitive, and that brings out like the
and you're looking at Rocket Raccoon while you're like fucking smashing your TV against the wall. You know what I mean? Like it's something about it is so sickening to me. But also, let me not get away from the point that I do not like the gameplay. Like walking around as a little guy where it's like, oh, I'm about to lose a fight. Well, good thing my healer's coming around the corner and she can press one button and all my health comes back, and then I kill the other guy and I type in global chat that he's a stupid fucking. You know what I mean? Like, that is, you know, like in Counter-Strike, people to just like walk around the corner and hit one button, their whole team fucking rises from the ground and fucking they all get to like do this epic fucking K-pop dance and then blow you up. Like, you know, that just it doesn't.
No, that's right. I can see why you wouldn't like that. But see, I like that. The idea of Counter-Strike to me is like that. Because the idea, like Counter-Strike to me seems like the having to learn fucking like bullet spray patterns and like all the like weird little
which I understand.
No, and I'm saying for me that seems like
I was saying I understand why someone wouldn't like that too. I get that for sure.
I suppose coming into like some like Rivals or Overwatch wanting like a really good like FPS experience where like if you can aim better than anyone else, you're going to win 100% of the time, like in Call of Duty or
if you can cheat better than everyone else.
You are definitely going to have a bad time because those games are much more based around like teamwork and like
or if you're like Chinese.
All being Chinese. Actually,
I personally felt like at the beginning of
Korean.
At the very beginning of Overwatch 1, I had a lot of fun for like a year with the original Overwatch, and it was because it was a way tighter cast of characters, and they were much more honed in on like, okay, this thing interacts with this thing, and like these things. It's the same thing as like One Piece or Magic the Gathering or Yu-Gi-Oh! It's like all of these cards from like 30 years ago. end up being fucking insane when this card in 2025 comes out that somehow interacts with this thing that they didn't mean it to, because there's 800,000 cards in the database, and now that happens, it basically makes that happens with Yu-Gi-Oh! Like all the time. Magic the Gathering has block rotation, so it's a little different, and One Piece is new, so it doesn't really but you know what I mean, like Overwatch got to a point where there was too many characters and too many interactions, and that's what made it unfun. Overwatch 2 was just the same thing, and then Marvel Rivals has more characters than Overwatch 2 by the end of its life cycle. Offer it, and like, to me, that's because you still could have some kind of like, if I shoot first, I win when the first Overwatch came out, if I also understand what this Genji's about to do to try to get out of it. But like in these games now, the cast is so big, it's like I can't remember everything everybody can do. Like it's a complete like ripsaw of, it's like League of Legends. It's like, what is there, 250 heroes in League of Legends? It's like I can't remember what everything can do. Like there's no point. There's no strategy. Like it's such an excess that there's like nothing like left to fucking to like interface with. It's just like random.
I do think they get too big, in the way characters interact with each other gets to be too much. But
you do have to learn like a lot of different archetypes.
Like I played COD with you guys, I played Fortnite, I played fucking Counter-Strike, I played Overwatch, and I played Marvel Rivals. I can have fun with all of them if I'm hanging out with.
What?
Like, I don't have.
Well, if you don't care about winning, they're all pretty fun. It's a video game. Like, it's fun at the end of the day.
I don't have that in me at all, so like I can generally play pretty much anything.
Yeah.
But I do suck at all of them.
Which does make it fun.
So to take that as you will.
I will also say all of this is coming from me. I have never touched a ranked mode in my life because I care about my sanity. I don't fucking give a shit. I just play quick play. I play other arcade modes, whatever. I just want to fucking run around, shoot people, have fun. I don't want to be like, my elo has gone down 100 points because my team. Yeah, I could see why that would make you fucking.
I'm even just saying casual.
I'm not saying you. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying casual too.
Yeah, I don't even like online
I'm just
gaming,
saying as an.
It's just at the end of the game when it says you lose on the screen. It's like, I don't care what game mode I'm playing. I don't want it to say that. You know what I mean? It's like
I don't want to.
I just don't want it to say that. And when there's a reason that I can't figure out that it keeps saying that to me, then I don't want to play the game anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I know when I play the chess app on my phone and I go up against someone that's like a 1500 and I'm like 900, like, I know what they did to make me lose and why it says you lose on your screen. You know, it's like, because it's chess. But these motherfuckers playing checkers.
And I hate it.
to go back to I don't know, like 3 conversations ago, like my whole thing is fucking identity, bro. Like that's what's always been important for me.
Doplex
like,
has gone woke.
No. See, like, okay, speaking of that, right? Like, fucking when people are saying like Call of Duty, like the new Call of Duty is woke, that's not at all the issue. The issue is that it's lost its identity entirely. Like when I think of like old Call of Duty, I think of, you know, a certain like color palette that makes you kind of feel like, oh, I'm in fucking war, bro. Like I'm killing. I'm creating bloodshed and gore and sinew. You know, and it's just when it loses that, I feel like I'm shocked it doesn't lose the appeal of the core game itself. I mean, granted, a lot of those things are optional, but when you're playing in an online lobby and you're getting fucking yoinky spelunkied by Sabrina Carpenter or whatever, you know what I mean? It's just like, what are we doing here, bro? Is this war now, or is it like
Call of Duty at this point is just a self-harm simulator? Like it's no one. I go on it like every couple months. No one ever has fun. It's not possible. Yeah. Nobody has fun.
Everyone's trying to chase the hive when they're 14 playing.
Right.
But it's not just because it is that, right? But it's also that the games were so much fucking better. You know what I mean? Like I hate when people are like, "Oh, nostalgia took over your brain. You're fucking gay." It's like, no, the games were so much better. It was so much more fun.
Games are.
It's not just because I'm old.
No, that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying though. It's not that you're wrong to think that. It's that you're right to think that, and it's frustrating that the only outlet you have if you want to play a modern Call of Duty game is slop. Like it's
like all of my hometown friends are like
better.
They buy Call of Duty every year. They play it like religiously for a month and then they get so upset and they never touch it again, and then they don't play video games for like 11 months. You know what I mean? Because like,
until the next one comes out.
Yeah, and not because they're stupid. It's because like we're all just hoping that one will hit again. And we can all like befriend each other, and it is. It is like they're all hoping that we can just be friends again and like take some time off work and like play games and actually have fun. Yeah. And like so it happened with MW 2019 where they kind of like reinvented the franchise and went back to that sort of like more realistic competitive shit.
Yeah.
And like had an identity again. You know, there was like some battle pass aspects to that game, but it wasn't like flaming pink bullets and like Nicki Minaj yet. And that happened like, and on top of that happened right before COVID. So we were like super into it, and then everything got shut down, and then it was like, oh, okay, well, we are just like middle schoolers again. This is fire. And then somehow like they realized that everybody loved the game, and then just they fucked it for 5 more years in a row, and now it's like just an inconceivable pile of fucking garbage.
The problem is it's too big. It's like you said in your video about like sports games and stuff. It's like A, it's too big, and B, it's like cornered a market of consumers who don't like branch out from it in the slightest. So it's like in a world where, you know, even like Blizzard is treating their players really good these days. Like World of Warcraft's in like one of the best places it's been in. Like everything felt really anti-consumer for a few years there, but I feel like recently, because there's so much content out there like vying for your attention now, a lot of these companies have been like, oh, actually we have to like, we can't just fuck our players over like we've been doing forever, because they'll just go to another game. Case in point, Marvel Rivals is a way better fucking deal to play than Overwatch 2 when Overwatch 2 launched, because you had to pay for Overwatch 2, and then you had to like, or it was free to play, but you had to pay to unlock characters, all this dumb shit. And then Marvel Rivals like, hey, here's a free game, there's 30 fucking characters you can play off rip, the only thing you can buy is cosmetics that you don't need. It's like, well, yeah, of course, the free market works. But the problem is, something like Call of Duty, it's like, people play Call of Duty, they play Call of Duty and they might play 2K. That's probably it, right? Like, they're stuck in this sort of niche. So fucking EA's like, wow, pony up, boys, or you can go fuck yourself because you don't play any other games.
I'd say the vibe more is Call of Duty, Madden, and then GTA 2K. Those are like the two sects of the game. No, but I'm mostly saying that as a joke. But I feel like most of the guys I know that are religious with COD, they play Madden. Like, those are their two self-harms. It's like they get like one in like November and one in like July. And then the other one's like GTA and 2K. But GTA does kind of somewhat exist outside of the self-harm slop. Like, it's still kind of, at this point it is that, but it wasn't that for a long time, so I can see why. You know what I mean? Like, at this point it is.
What sucks about GTA is like, it's kind of funny like how GTA kind of became like Neanderthal game, where, because it's the biggest fucking thing in the world, right? You know? Yeah. And like, I'm someone who like has loved GTA in much like a lot of other people, like, since we were kids, where it's like, no, we're invested in like the story and like weird random like bits
and
of lore.
And they're really
like,
well written stories. The
exactly. Like,
like,
what's the fuck? Like, a lot of shit being carried over like throughout the games, like little Easter eggs that like you only know if you played, like, you know what I mean? And now it's
fucking just Tony Vincenzo from Liberty City.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I'm actually the person you're talking about, which I don't take offense to. I have none of that because I wasn't allowed to play it growing up. So my first GTA was GTA 5 when I was like 15 or 16, probably 16.
Yeah. Right.
So like, I don't have any of that. I'm just like, car go fast and I can shoot rocket launchers at people.
Right. Yeah. Well, no, like what I'm talking about is like specifically like the fucking, I don't know, like 10-year-old kids who are like, the only game that's ever been invented is Rocket League and GTA 5. Like,
and they never played the GTA single player. They just
and like now they've grown up and now they have like jobs and shit, but still they're just like, the only games ever invented is Rocket League and GTA 5. You know what I mean? Like, that's the type of person I'm talking about.
That's their whole world.
GTA's weird too, because it's like obviously such an adult game, but it's also have such a weird large presence in like children's slop content. Like, fucking there's so many people that's just like, which is the fastest car? If we have, can the rocket car jump over the city in GTA 5? Or like fucking those weird surreal videos where it's like,
that's my brain every time I get on
Spider-Man. No, it's there's
dude, I get on GTA like once every month. And I just do that.
Aimed at 18-year-olds, and we're making a video in it for 4-year-olds. It's like, I don't know. There's no other game I can think of that's like that.
Yeah, actually, it kind of happens with Red Dead 2 as well. I've seen so many shorts of people being like, which horse is the best horse to get from this specific province? Like, it's just, I think those games just lend themselves to spreadsheets.
I didn't realize you were talking about that kind of content. That kind of content is
which one's better, boys?
Yeah, no, that kind of content is those Neanderthals not knowing how to like speak, how to like write a script that's actually compelling to people. So they just like do their little fucking speech that like interfaces with this random part of your brain that just makes you upset enough to watch the whole thing.
Yeah, it's like playing with Lego blocks.
I'm talking. Yeah, I'm not talking so much about
Which
like I
car
think
is faster?
what you said, Andrew. That's the kind of content like maybe an adult would watch. Like, oh, I do want to find out like what's the fastest. It's brain rot content.
I mean,
like,
yeah,
I'm talking
I have
specifically
watched
the
through
stuff
to
where
find
it's
out
like,
what the
whoa,
fastest
what's up,
horse
guys? Today we're going to be driving the fastest car in GTA 5, and we're getting, you know, it's
Yeah.
like what the your audience is 6-year-olds, and this game is violent as fuck. It's really weird.
Yeah.
Someone should make it.
Those weird
Someone
videos. Have you
should,
seen it where it's like they'll mod in like the Hulk and they make him like red and green and purple
Yeah.
and yellow and stuff, and then they'll have like
Exactly,
a guy
yeah.
dressed as Spider-Man like walk into them, and then the character like ragdolls
Right.
over it. It's like, what is
Yeah.
that?
Epic win for Spider-Man.
Sorry, James, what were you saying?
Which I think that's why GTA 5 has been like babyfied in my brain. When I think about GTA 5, I think of like baby game at this point. Like
But
it's
GTA
still
6 will
fun,
be that
and
in
I
1
I
week.
feel like GTA 6 is gonna be
exactly.
that off rip.
Whoever can crack the mods for that game the fastest and like start putting in fucking like SpongeBob and shit.
No, they're gonna lean into
Yeah.
it themselves because they know like.
That's true.
I'm very pessimistic on GTA 6 at this point because GTA 5 was so unbelievably successful monetarily that
Right.
there is
You
no
think they're gonna lean into
fucking
those aspects?
way that this game isn't ruined by like the second month with like like motorcycles you can buy that can like track down any player on the map and shit like that.
Yeah.
I am fully convinced like that shit by the end of next, like if it comes out in May, by Christmas the game will be in the state that it was like 5 years after launch when everyone was like, I'm not really having fun with this anymore. Like I'd put every dollar I have on it, like, and I'm not
agree.
trying to be a
However,
downer,
that is
like,
only for the online.
yeah, but
What I'm most excited for right now is the single player. Like that's what I'm juiced
That's what
for.
I'm.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
the thing is, the thing that worries me is like, because I was like this with GTA 5. I still am, honestly. Like,
The thing that worries
single
me
player
is
for
you can
GTA
play as a woman.
The thing is,
I'm pissed about
and a
it.
brown one at that.
I
What the
brown one at
fuck?
that.
Yo, shout out Lucy.
cool
She's
for
so
the
fucking
summer.
hot.
Yeah,
But,
shout out to
she has
Doplex for
ass
investing.
physics.
Doplex invested in Latinas early. I think once this game comes out, there's going to be a huge shift.
Yeah,
in the
there's gonna be a huge
market. It's
uptick
gonna be a
in-
lot.
in
yeah.
Big
they're going to be a lot more
Latino
valuable.
uptick coming around the corner, boys.
Yeah.
Make sure you
True.
Lock it in
invest.
now.
Buy the Latina
100%.
dip before it goes up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I'm worried about is like with GTA 5, right?
Right.
Like when the story came out and you play through the story, you're like, this shit is amazing, because they did a fucking segmented release where all you could play was the single player mode for I don't remember how long, but I specifically remember
took like a year or two to come out from memory.
it was like
it was a
I don't
wee-
think it was
I-
that
it was a
long.
wee while.
It was
Wait,
like-
on what are we talking about?
I think it was like a few months on
PC?
GTA 5, because I remember no just on 360. Like I remember getting GTA 5 on 360. All you could play was the single player mode
For
and
a
then, like,
year?
3 months later. Yeah, it wasn't
It
a
was-
year. It was like 3
it-
months.
It was a wee- yeah, it was sorry, I lied. It was a few months.
Yeah, well, because I
Maybe it
remember
was
it
a
wasn't
while.
that long.
Somebody figure
Yeah,
out
'cause
the
they
actual length of
announced it.
time. I don't think.
I'm looking.
Grand
I'm
Grand
looking
Theft
it up.
3
Auto
months?
launched
Look it up.
on October 1st, 2013, 2 weeks after Grand Theft Auto 5's release.
Oh, was it only 2
Yeah.
weeks?
What? Okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right. No, that
You know what I'm
that
saying?
sounds
I think
right,
I got.
yeah.
I think I'm getting it confused
Thank
with
you.
Red Dead.
Yeah,
Red Dead Online. I
Red
was like,
Dead, that was
Red Dead was like
I
a
feel like I was
year
being
ago.
gaslighted.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
No,
that
yeah,
was my
that sounds
bust.
right.
The
Anyway,
PC
so-
port didn't launch for like a year. That's true.
Yeah, the PC didn't come out for a year, but like
forever.
so.
I'm getting all
The thing
these
is, like
mixed up.
when GTA 5 first came out, right? All you could play was the single player mode for 2 weeks, which we've just learned. I mean, give us a break. It was fucking
Hey, 3 months and 2 weeks is
12 years ago. It was 12 years ago this game came out. Yeah, it was 12
not
years
in my
ago.
heart.
So
That's why I
Oh,
knew
I
the
clapped
truth.
too hard. I almost passed out.
right. You almost
And
threw
just throwing up
But
again.
Yeah, I'm almost.
all you could do was play the single player mode. Now, when you finish the single player mode, they had plans. They literally had plans
They
to come
had
out with fucking
plans.
DLC to make the single player mode. People who enjoy single player games like myself have like content in the foreseeable future to like continue revisiting the world outside of just getting fucking murked by a 4-year-old on one of those like Mark 13 bikes or whatever they're called. And
Mark II
my
oppressive.
worry is they're going to lean harder into the online aspect for GTA 6 to where the single player mode is going to be even shorter, and like that's
Yeah,
all the
definitely
content we
they did.
get for it.
I hope
yeah,
not.
like I'm not saying that that's going to happen. I genuinely hope they do actually continue to develop the single player mode because I know that there's like rumors, but most rumors are fucking fake about how it's going to be like an ever growing world, which they kind of did that with GTA 5. They added like new areas.
The houses will be built in real time, and the trees will grow.
In real
time.
There's a fucking building.
If I was
that's
you,
been
Doplex, I
under
wouldn't hold out
construction.
for single player DLC, but I don't think this like the actual base games like single player is going to like suffer. You know, otherwise, like
See-
Red Dead 2. Red Dead 2 came out after GTA 6 was printing money at fucking hand over fist, and they still
Right.
made
No, I'm not
the
saying
best
it's-
single player story of all time.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I think
yeah.
that I think they'll be good.
I know. Yeah, well, let me clarify. I know the
Let 'em be
story is
clear.
going to be great because every GTA, every Rockstar game, the story, like that is one thing they really fucking excel at is really good grounded stories.
I think
Like
that's all they want to do, and then
since-
they realize like, oh shit, we can also print money if we just add an online component.
right,
All right, we'll do it.
exactly.
Fuck it.
Yeah, I have no doubt. I mean, even fucking trailer 2 that dropped today. Like, I'm already invested in their fucking love story, bro. Like that, it looks like it's gonna be really good. But my worry is it's going to be like a 10-hour like story, you know, that you could just run through in like 3 days.
And then,
Absolutely.
And then that
go
is
explore,
is your
dude.
that is your single player content for the next
Get out
15
there and
years.
explore.
I think that's what
Doplex,
it's gonna.
Doplex, you've been hitting the crack pipe too much, Doplex.
No, I don't know.
It's
I don't
never
think he
gonna happen.
has. Look, you're talking to the Call of Duty Holocaust survivor. Those games used to be like 20-hour campaigns that were like truly crafted by like the minds of fucking veterans and shit.
Right.
And that were like
yeah.
that really told a fucking story. You know, like just say the fucking name Soap McTavish to like anyone under the age of like 30 and see that like or
Right.
like a guy and see the response you get. Like motherfuckers would start crying, like breaking down crying right in front of you.
Yeah.
But dude, as soon as like Nazi zombies and like the multiplayer search and destroy and shit started going crazy and everything, it's like, yeah, they like every year they lost like 2 hours and like 50% of the quality and shit. Like, dude, GTA 5 Online is the most successful thing in the history of mankind's entertainment industries globally.
don't-
You know what I
don't
mean?
get me wrong. They are definitely
it
gonna
is
lean into
going
the
to
online
affect
heavy.
the way that they're going to develop this game. It has to.
Yeah.
It's going to heavily influence, like, they'll definitely, you know, GTA 5 Online almost felt like, it wasn't retrofitted, but it definitely felt like, okay, we made a single player game, and we'll just throw some online shit in afterwards. Like, it definitely felt like a bit of an not an oversight, but, you know, like...
Not
it
as
was
much
like
as Red
something
Dead
that was
Online
added.
did. Like I think they were a little bit more pointed with how well they made the original GTA 5 Online.
Red Dead 2 did, I mean...
Red Dead 2 is online.
Red Dead Online.
Yeah.
Red Dead Online is a bit all over the place, but again, like, I feel like they're not gonna sacrifice the single player story, which I feel like is what the like leadership at Rockstar, like fucking Danny Boy and all that. I feel like that's what they want to do. They are writers through and through. Like they want to create this and tell this crazy story. The online is like that for sure. They are definitely gonna lean into that
That's gonna
way
be a
heavier
cash
this
cow.
time around. Absolutely. I don't disagree there at all. But I don't think they're gonna do it at the like expense of the single player because they've got fucking infinite money. They could fucking
Bro, what happens
They
if
can
the
make a
story
crazy
sucks?
single player.
What happens if what happened? And give me your honest answer. What happens if the campaign is ass and it's like 10 hours long? Does it affect the sales of the game or the money it's going to make over the next like 10 years in the slightest?
I actually kind
I
of
don't
think
think it
GTA 5
will.
story kind of sucks. So I guess up to you.
I don't know. I was
just to be
never-
pessimistic, the answer is no. It will not affect. Like it will still make like $1 billion in the first week.
Yes. No, it absolutely will. I think.
Yeah, I mean-
no, yeah.
Am I
absolutely.
wrong?
don't
Like
disagree.
if
No,
they
you're not
launch
wrong.
the game,
Correct.
if they launch the game and they said what we cut the campaign, it's GTA 6 Online. It would sell like 98% of the amount of copies it would sell if the campaign was there, and it would make the same, if not more, money over the next 10 years off Megalodon cards and all that bullshit, right? Like that is kind of like a fact
The
of
upgraded.
you know, it's like the it is the video game industry. Like that game that game made more money than like every game combined in the last like fucking 10 years. That shit is insane. It's like
I mean,
unreal.
any other media property.
That's what I'm saying. Anywhere, like even in China, like it's fucking.
I understand.
Bro,
I
that
definitely
shit
understand your
is
pessimism
insane.
coming from a Call of Duty fan. I can definitely understand your pessimism, but I've yet to outside of Rockstar like shifting from doing single player DLCs to exclusively online content. I've yet to see an example of them like just fucking the consumer for like, or the single player or whatever, for the sake of they didn't cut Arthur's story in half in Red Dead so they can fucking put more development time in.
I will
in
say,
Red Dead Online. If anything, I wish they did, because Red Dead Online fucking like just died because they were like, actually we don't have time for this. Pull the developers off it. No one's working on this anymore. So
that's
like,
what I think. I mean, Red Dead 2 and Red Dead 1 have both kind of stayed in the cultural mind of video games for so long. I can't imagine they would completely give up on stories.
Another game company, yes, but I cannot see Rockstar doing that.
But
I'm seeing no Apple right now. There's no Apple in my brain.
We haven't got
It's
a
gone.
GTA in 13 years or whatever, 12 years. It's going to be 13 or it'll be like 12 in like 8 months by the time it comes out.
Do you think they spent the whole time working on only online?
No, I think they didn't spend like the up until like 2018 they were working on fucking Red Dead. And Red Dead, like, it's like, all right, Westerns are like the fucking epitome of like American entertainment. Like, it propped up the film industry for like 20 fucking years while they tried to figure out how to make good movies. When you make a Western, you obviously want to tell a story. It's not like, oh, we're just gonna make online where you can shoot guns that can only shoot like one bullet every 3 seconds. You know what I mean? Like, that's
and then we're gonna change the animation so you reload them 10 times faster.
Yeah, but so you want to make like the most incredible fucking story ever, like, put to the medium, right? But then you see GTA Online take off, and you're like, wait. So for years, like, because this game has existed since before online gaming has existed. Like, this franchise. So they're like, wait, this time we made the story and it was awesome, and we made the online and it was awesome, and everyone liked the online, and all we did was put time into the online for the last 10 years and did nothing for the fucking story. And we made more money than anything in the history of this fucking planet. And we didn't do anything for the story. We just made the game and then propped up the online, and we made more money than anything that has ever fucking existed on this planet. That's an entertainment product, at least.
But the game still had a
and then
really
you're like,
long,
wait.
solid single player.
No, but
like, you're nice to add more, but it was good.
But you're like, wait.
It had a core.
But you're like, wait. But you're like, wait.
I'm like, wait.
But you're like, wait. We're just making a story about guys that shoot machine guns. Like, our story is just guy that work out and shoot machine gun. It's just guy. It's just guy shoot machine gun.
I don't know. I think a crime thriller.
The entire video game industry is
a bit reductive.
Online guy shoot machine gun. You know, it's like it lends it. GTA lends it. Just really.
I don't know if the online has enough juice on it.
I'm half joking, but I just one more sentence. Like, the idea of GTA lends itself so much better to just being like, yeah, this is like an online open world guy shoot machine gun MMO product now than Red Dead Redemption does. Like, Red Dead Online is cool, I agree, but like, it's cool for like the gamer gooners who like really want to like put time and soul into like role playing. Like, that shit was never gonna be like, all right, well, let's just give up on the story. Like, it's a Western. That's the core of it. GTA is like a heist movie or something. Like, nobody goes to a heist movie and they're like, oh, this is the best thing. This beats Lord of the Rings and 12 Angry Men. This is the best story ever written. No, it's like, I want to see something explode. You know, like, that's the real.
So I agree.
That's all.
I really don't like GTA 5 story. I
do like GTA 5 story. I love it, and I hope they don't do this.
I'm gonna do some theory crafting here, because when I look back on the history of, but that's just a Mexican theory. When you look back on the history of like Rockstar games, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
GTA San Andreas comes to mind. Like, GTA 3's story is like, it works because you're a fucking just a mute guy who's just like doing errands, and like the story is, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
GTA San Andreas works because you're like, you know, an oppressed black man getting back at like crooked cops.
Franklin is just going around the city all the time like,
crap.
Wow. Damn, that's a big ass building.
This is
holy
cool.
crap. This building's so big, I gotta kill a cop.
Like, GTA 4 is a really cool fucking story about like an immigrant who like goes to America with promise of a better life. He's escaping like the fucking war like overseas, and it lends itself to have such a deep story where you actually can connect with not only his character, but also the character, like the other fucking characters surrounding him. Red Dead 1 and 2 are also fucking masterclasses at that shit because, like James said, the fucking Western genre props itself up to already have a great story because it's so... It's the fucking... That's like the
It's the story of being a man.
Exactly. Yeah, the story about being a man and dealing with fucking your own mortality in a world where, like, there aren't things that can fix you when you get TB. You know what I mean? GTA 5 is 1000% man with gun. And that is the thing that holds back GTA 5. Now, GTA 6... From what
kind
we've
of a
seen
Bonnie
in the
and
story,
Clyde vibe, which
exactly.
So that's got me so invested
which is
already.
why I think the story is going to be good because it's something we haven't seen before. It's a fucking man and a woman who are madly in love over
machine gun.
the concept of crime.
We've never seen a
with the
story
machine
about a
gun.
man and woman in love
Bonnie
before.
and Clyde. That's it.
breaking
You're
down the ground.
describing it. We have
No,
seen
I know.
it.
I would say in GTA specifically, like,
Oh, okay.
but I think that is going to lend itself to actually having an actual deep story, much like Red Dead 1, 2, and GTA 4.
It's a little more contained
because GTA
than
5,
GTA 5. You're playing 3 different guys where you're
I
like,
thought
I'm
that was
Michael,
cool.
I'm
Yeah,
Rich. Now I'm Franklin,
Yeah, like, it's-
which is I got
it's
a
cool.
Rottweiler, and
I
now
thought that
I'm
shit was fire.
Trevor, and I'm a meth head.
Yeah.
which I did
it's-
have fun
it's
with it,
cool.
but I think it's harder to
I like
connect
the-
with the characters.
I agree.
Yeah.
I like,
Hell
I
no,
like the
bro.
way the
Franklin
fact
was
they
my
did it,
boy.
but
Fuck the other two.
Racist.
yeah, well, what I'm saying is like GTA 5 doesn't
Ideally, you like all three.
It doesn't take itself too seriously.
I don't know if
Yeah.
ideally you like all three. I thought the point was like you said you pick one that's your homie.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like,
I was
GTA
gonna
5
say I don't know
story,
if you have to love Trevor.
right? Yeah. Well, that's the
I don't
thing.
mean
like,
love him as in
each
like you
character,
actually want to hang
each
out
character,
with him. but you still like it
yeah,
as
each
a
character is specifically meant to serve
Oh,
a
well,
purpose for
I'm gonna
like
give
the
him a
GTA
kiss.
player.
We're having
to
like
where it's
5
your
different
story.
conversations.
I know.
'Cause
Yeah,
I'm
sorry, I'm
going
trying to get my
crazy.
thoughts out.
how about
the story of
literally we're-
GTA
Wait, no,
5.
Doplex, keep
Here's
going.
how we'll, here's how we'll
Yeah.
round out this conversation and this whole episode.
Okay.
Doplex,
All right.
what do you think about
What's
Is It
up?
Clear Obscure 33?
Wait, no.
Oh yeah.
Fuck that game. Who cares? We're talking about GTA.
That's how all of this started. we literally
yeah, I know.
Doplex was like, I'm just gonna
Yeah, we
hold on,
real
well,
quick, and then
first-
you started talking about S.
I want to clarify my points on GTA 5, and I do wanted to explore like. I didn't know that you guys all hated the story. I liked it. See this?
No,
see,
I like the story.
liked it, and I'm advocating that they're gonna fuck it. You guys hated it, and you think they're gonna make it better. Like I don't know where we're coming
That's
from
what
when we're
I'm saying,
disagreeing.
though. I think they learned from
That's what I was
GTA
trying to
5.
explain.
That's what I
Well,
I think
that's
they
what I was
learned
trying to
because
explain.
all their others are
Yeah.
so much more
Well, no.
popular than GTA 5's story. So I think they're like, we got to
Exactly,
get the story
yeah.
back.
Yeah, nobody ever talks about, like, people enjoy GTA 5, but nobody ever talks about the story as like this hard-hitting piece. Whereas like people talk about GTA 4 all the fucking time. You know what I mean?
That is true.
Like,
Actually,
GTA
yeah.
5
the amount of time I've seen GTA 4 brought up on Nico's
Fuck
character
that.
as like a masterclass in like video game writing and storytelling.
Hell nah.
Never heard anyone bring
That's
up GTA
bullshit,
5 as
dude.
like,
All I see on YouTube Shorts is people like it's like kids that were
Who
like.
did you kill?
It's got kids that were like
Select
it's
on your
kids that were like
cell phone
8
who you
years
want to
old when they
kill.
were fucking when the game came out. Now they're like 20 and they're on YouTube Shorts and they're like, this story was the most beautiful thing in my childhood. It makes me cry every time thinking about how Franklin would betray Michael. When I played Franklin, I would never. And it's like every cutscene from the game, and it's like, and what they did to Trevor, they betrayed. Trevor thought his best friend was dead. It's like, bro, people
And
be
when-
talking about that shit.
And when he says, "Nah."
That is a beautiful. Hey, that is a beautiful. That
I will
is a
say,
beautiful
as
moment
far as
between two
well-written
black
character.
American
as
men.
far as video games go,
Exactly.
I don't know if I've ever had a one-line stick with me as much as that.
and it's
That's
and
it.
it's
That is
a
kind of
beautiful, it's a
transcended
beautiful representation of their
writing.
friendship and how they're
Right.
how they can joke with each other in that way and use those
Yeah.
words, but in a brotherly love kind of way.
And then he
Right.
goes, "What
Yeah.
the fuck?"
you could, I don't think they necessarily
got rid of
refute
that
our
was
point though,
yes,
'cause
haircut.
I don't like the story, but I don't think they're going to abandon the story. It just wasn't really for me. I don't know. I didn't like it as much. But then Red Dead 2 is my favorite game.
I was
story of all
all
time.
right with the story of
Right.
GTA 5.
It was
I
fun.
thought it
It
was
was-
fine.
yeah.
I thought it was,
It was fun.
awesome.
The story,
But it
so
was like,
what
I don't know, I don't think
it's
back to it anymore, but I
It's
can't
fun.
remember any of it.
It's a fun story. Like GTA 5 has they focus on the fun, and that is great on its own. But like
Focus
the
on
thing
fun,
is,
dude.
You know what's more
they
fun?
focus on the fun, bro.
Online.
What's up?
So that's why they're gonna focus
Well,
on that.
exactly. They focused
That's why
on the
they're gonna
fun, and they
focus on
don't
that.
remember. No one remembers it, bro. So now they're like, we got to focus on the family and the fun.
It doesn't matter that no
Christian,
one
focus
remembers
on
it.
the
It's the
family.
most successful thing ever made.
It doesn't. Well,
it doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying.
Does that not make you think that they would just do? They're like, hey, let's just do it exactly what we did again. Long story.
And have our cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
Our Latina cake.
I agree with.
But when all you guys are
James
saying
is
all your
pissing-
work sucked and the story is terrible, then they're like, well, why focus on a long story when we can just make the online?
Because
What I'm
everybody
saying
loves
is,
it.
I think if it was
I think
any
they're
other game
setting
company,
up to have
I would be scared. I would absolutely be
Yeah.
scared. But again, it is Rockstar. Because again, isn't like Dan Houser? Is he the CEO? He's one of the leads, but he's also like the lead writer. So it's
Dan
like
Schnauzer.
yeah, when the guy in
Well,
charge
I think it's
is
Sam
the writer,
Houser who's.
or Sam Houser.
Well, no, Sam
Samji?
Houser. He left.
it's brothers.
He
right?
left. Yeah, well, he left the company. I think after GTA.
No.
I feel like it was
he left
recent,
before
wasn't
GTA.
it?
I think he left before GTA 5 came out. Or he, like
Interesting.
during its development. Let me look it up.
That's what lost
Sam
the heart and
Houser.
story,
Wait.
bro.
So while they look that up, Andrew,
When did
Yeah.
Sam Houser?
you think that
leave
them telling the
Rockstar?
story from the perspective of three like vastly different people living in the same city with
yeah, I mean,
different
Dan
lives, they
Houser.
basically live in different worlds, but them coming together and impacting each other's lives in this is very like you and going from perspective to perspective, like a Game of Thrones novel or something, like not just having like one overarching narrator. Like, you think that's bad? You
No.
think that idea is stupid?
No.
You think that
That's a
idea
great
isn't
idea.
emotional and wonderful?
I love the idea.
I just don't think
like
it
the
hit for me.
characters.
For whatever reason, it didn't hit for me.
I didn't find the
That's all I'm
characters
saying.
interesting.
You.
I love the way they presented it. I love the way it's implemented.
I
I think
thought
it's
the way
really
it was
cool.
presented was cool.
No, I agree. I think it's awesome how they present it, which is why I'm excited for this next one.
But you're saying it made you not care about any of them.
I'm not saying the format is what did
No,
it.
I'm just saying I
for
just don't
I
whatever
thought
agree
reason,
Kudos
as
said the
characters.
format was the fault of everything.
No.
the fault in our.
Oh well.
Well,
I
like
don't know.
before you said
I don't know
like
if
you said
misheard
like
it,
The
but that's not
Fault
what
in
I
Our
mean.
Rock Stars.
I thought before you said like, hey, yeah, and it made me not care about anybody.
Nice.
Like when we were talking about how there was like
Thanks.
3 different people, and then I said, what do you mean? Franklin was my favorite. I thought that was you're supposed to like pick a favorite, and that's like your dog. And then
I
you were
was
like,
saying
no, I
ideally
don't
all
like
three
them.
are
Well,
ones you could
no, I
enjoy.
think that is
Okay,
kind
hold
of
on,
like
hold on.
how it's supposed to
Wait,
go.
hold on.
Like
Because
in a
Kudos-
normal playthrough, you'll pick a person that you like.
But
the
that's what I'm
most,
saying.
but-
Because I think Kudos thinks I'm saying that I hated all the other characters. I'm saying that like I think they're all great
No, I didn't think
characters.
that.
No, but you're saying ideally you would like all of them. Ideally, I love all of them. I'm saying that I thought like, but you end up like picking a favorite, right? So like I liked all of them, and then but I'm like
Sure,
in the
okay,
end
that's-
I want
yeah,
Franklin to be the GOAT. You know, like I want
Yeah.
Franklin
Right, yeah,
to
I
get
get you.
inducted into the Ghetto Hall of Fame. You know, like like
I just,
you know,
I just
like-
didn't find. My problem is again, it's nothing to do with the gameplay or anything. I just I just didn't find any of the 3 characters very compelling for me.
Yeah,
Bro,
for whatever
but
reason,
Trevor,
they
dog.
didn't reach into my like. I thought they were fun.
Trevor
I think
funny.
Doplex said it. Like Trevor,
He's funny, but
as
he's-
hell. It was so
I don't
like
know.
all of his missions were fun, but
Yes.
Yeah.
when I go back and look at it, I think more about the missions and shit I did more than like the characters. Like I don't really necessarily think about epic missions I did in Red Dead. I think about Arthur.
Oh, I definitely do.
Like
Well,
I mean,
I
obviously,
can tell
like
you- I
but
can
I
tell you
think
guys
about
why.
Arthur more than I think about the
I think-
missions. GTA,
Yeah.
I think more about
Michael
the
and
heists.
Franklin had a traditional like
I agree.
cinematic relationship that like
I agree.
you could transfer to a movie script and like refine
yeah.
it, and it would be like a
It would be
very
better if it was just focused on those 2.
Well, that's
I-
what I was
like, I
gonna say.
think-
That
yeah.
it's by design. It's by design. Like Trevor is specific. Like the whole point of having 3 characters, and the reason why like Red Dead 2's story works so well is you're playing as one guy, literally pretty much throughout the course of his life. Granted it's later in his life, but. Whereas like GTA, they give you 3 characters for 3 different play styles. Like Trevor is if you want to play the fucking man with gun, crazy
the classic
dude. Like
GTA protag. The way people actually
Yeah,
play
which-
GTA.
yeah, like
Exactly,
Rockstar
which, like,
or
if-
Trevor was their cop out, where it's like. It was for
Yeah.
the 2K people that were like, well,
Who just
if
wanna
they-
kill
if we tell a
and
compelling
fucking-
story, they'll call us gay, so we have to give them Trevor. Which is what I'm saying. Like
Psychopath.
Red Dead, it makes like that. Go ahead, because I've made my point like 10 times, but I feel like they're afraid of those people now because those people are so ravenous for the online. It's like, they're just going to call us gay for wasting time on this story.
I mean,
Right, well, that's like, sorry, real quick, just like, I think Trevor is literally, because like I know whenever I hop back into GTA, like just a single player, like if I just want to run around and steal cars and kill people, I only play as Trevor for that reason, But if I'm like if I'm playing through the story, and if I'm like free roaming just in the story mode, I'm only playing as either Michael or Franklin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless it switches me to Trevor. And I have to do shit as him.
100%.
Yeah. I think I normally ended up doing the same.
That's the beauty of Arthur. You can do either of those things with him.
Exactly. But like Arthur's character makes you want to be a good guy because he's a good guy.
It does, but then
early on it makes sense for him to be a dick too.
It does make you want to be a good guy, but then the NPCs saying snide things to you overrides that and makes you want to be an evil person.
And I put their ass in the dirt, dude.
I
don't
fucking
talk to Arthur
I shoot their kneecaps out, but they don't die, and then I hog tie them and put them on the back of my horse, and I drive to Saint Denis, and I go to the bridge where next to the river, and I toss them off the side, and then I watch the alligators eat them while they scream.
Yeah.
I just stay in Saint Denis and get one of the little Chinese guys and toss them in there.
Why's it got to be the Chinese guy?
Yeah, why specifically the Chinese guy?
Why can't it be the guy on the side of the road being like, it's not about their intelligence, I just fucking hate them? And
well,
it's
that
like
guy I just shoot in the face.
Oh yeah, he's not the only character you're allowed to kill with like zero karma.
With zero karma, nothing happens. Everyone's like, oh, that's actually kind of chill of you, Arthur.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I did like that idea where it's like in the
cool.
Wild West, it's like, yeah, just kill annoying people, and it's like everyone there, even if they agree or disagree with them, it's like, this guy's so fucking annoying. Like if someone killed him, I wouldn't do shit about it.
Yeah, I
And then
would.
you kill him, and it's like it almost feels like it was like real to the. It's like because no one interfaces with him. It's like everyone just fucking hates him and wish he was gone, and then you do it, and they're like, okay.
Right.
Well, especially the time period, right? Like people probably agreed with him and his like, really racist beliefs, but he's just so annoying. You're like, thank God.
Exactly.
Christ, he shut up.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like even if you're spitting the truth, it's like you're annoying, dog. Shut the fuck up.
So that meme of Homelander where it's like when someone says something you agree with, but they say it in an annoying way, so you don't want to.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Want to distance yourself.
Yeah.
It's like,
Damn it.
Damn
it's
right.
like with a racist guy.
Dude,
Anyway,
dude,
Doplex,
wait, really quick. I was watching a YouTube short live stream come out today, and it was like this really smug, annoying, like 20-year-old kid that he has like a big thing on the background of his screen, and it's Jesus with a big no sign around it, and it's like I'll debate anyone why God isn't real, and it's like this smug 20-year-old kid on TikTok doing like getting like the faces put on him and shit, and he's like on a live stream and he's talking to this guy like bugging out that's like from Boston about God, and like the guy's like trying to convince him that God's real, and he's like, and he just keeps hitting him with like, wow, I didn't think that you would get so angry about this. That's a sin. Did you know that being angry is a sin? God probably hates you. And it's like I'm like a questioning agnostic person, but like in that moment, like I like this guy, like you were talking about the guy in Red Dead, I was like, I literally typed in the chat, I was like, dude, you're so fucking annoying that I want to believe in God. Like you're so annoying that I want to believe in God again, so I don't have to fucking agree with anything you say because you're such a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So that kind of reminded me of the
like,
guy in San Denis.
That's the modern version of the fucking Reddit atheism thing. Like that really killed a lot of the momentum of the atheism discussion on the internet because it was like taken over by this cohort of like smug like 14-year-old guys who
where it's like all they want to do is like catch a Christian in a lie or something. It's like, yeah, we all have observed this, dude. Like you're the, you know what I mean? It's like you're not the first one to realize this. You're the first one to be a fucking annoying enough and pathetic enough to like interface with it, dog. Shut the fuck up.
Dude. Oh god.
I move all religious texts to the fiction section of the library.
I move all Bibles to the cooking section.
Because damn, God and Jesus was cooking.
Because I thought it was I thought it was fiction, but I can't read.
I don't understand Dewey and his decimal system.
From Malcolm in the Middle, what's he doing in the lab?
How did he come up with that? Was the only
dude.
Dewey I ever knew. So I the only thing like I walk in the library in like second grade, they're teaching me about the Dewey decimal system. Like I'm like hitting that age where I'm like, I thought we were a fucking society, and you're talking to me about Dewey's decimal system, and then the only Dewey I knew was Malcolm in the Middle Dewey. Yeah, like the freak big-eared rat.
I was
from
gonna say the only one I could think of is
I'm like, what is
Dewey
happening?
from is it Huey, Dewey, and Louie, the three ducks?
Huey Lewis and the News.
That makes sense.
Huey Lewis and the News, good band.
Great band.
Andrew,
Huey the duck.
Andrew, if you started chronicling your vomit, you could have the Spewy decimal system.
The Spewy decimal system.
Oh my god, that's fire.
Oh my god.
You got to do that.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
For 2.5 hours.
Wait. All right, now let's all be quiet and let Doplex round out his thought.
Yeah, round out your thought, dude.
And mostly me.
Round that bitch
It's
out.
me that keeps interjecting.
Oh, you're shit. Wait, about what? About
Everything.
Expedition 33 or
I don't know. You were trying to you were
You
explaining
choose,
why
man.
you
Oh,
believe
yeah.
that Rockstar's not going to betray you, and also what you feel about the GTA 5 story.
And why
Oh,
you
right,
think
yeah.
Israel has a right to be a state.
Yeah,
Right,
and
yes.
that.
Yeah. Well, so fucking yeah. So GTA 5, like the three protagonists, specifically those protagonists, meant to serve its purpose as like
Protect and serve.
not really focusing on this. Like the story is there, but the story's like, I mean, it's fun. It is a fun story, but it's like pretty shallow in terms of like storytelling goes. Like it has its moments, but it's just like it's a GTA story if like you thought of one. You know what I mean? Like a guy robs a bank and he makes some money.
Garak, what's the GTA 6 story?
Garak, Garak, how do I rob a bank? Whereas I feel like GTA 6 specifically in this new trailer that they came out with today, I think it's specifically setting up to kind of have that grounded mode where it's like, all right, who knows? Maybe at the end it's like you got to choose who you want to kill, fucking Lucia or Jason. You know what I mean?
If one of them
Jason's
dies,
getting the
I'm
bullet
probably
every
gonna
time,
cry.
dude. He's getting the
Right.
bullet
Silence?
every time.
Yeah.
We're not
that's what I'm
shooting for
saying. I think-
Latina. Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Get the fuck
Or one
outta
of them's
here.
gonna go to jail, and it's gonna be like a fucking. I don't want to spoil the show, but like it's what I mean. It's gonna be like one of those memes where it's
I
like
heard a
one of them
little
has to go
bit.
to jail.
That's such a fat one earlier. Wait, so what's your
But
what's
those are my thoughts. It's just it's adding the aspect.
why do you
of,
think
like,
they're
a
not gonna
relationship
betray
between
you?
Characters. Well, just like they're setting up the premise of a relationship between characters, whereas like in GTA 5, the only people who really had a pre-existing relationship was Michael and Trevor, which like I thought that aspect was
And that
cool,
other
whereas,
guy that
like,
died.
Franklin and Michael. That's true.
That
but
guy that
he was-
died, like, right
what
at
was
the
his name,
beginning.
Bill?
Yeah, Bill or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah,
I do think
Bill.
Yeah.
we'll see over the next.
he was-
They should have made Bill a playable character at the fucking start of the game. We'll see over the next
Yeah, they
like year,
should've.
I guess, of marketing. But like so far, the only two things I've put out about it have been exclusively focused on the story for the game and
Right.
on the website.
That is
Everything's
an
about the story
excellent
right
point.
now.
That is an
I'm not
excellent
again. I'm not
fucking
saying that they're
point.
not gonna like.
A brilliant
They're not gonna like.
It's a honeypot for you, sympathetic fuck.
But why? If they were leaning into online more than single player, wouldn't they be like also?
Because the online speaks for
Yeah.
itself. I already know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna buy a car and a fucking rocket launcher. I'm gonna shoot. I'm gonna
Yeah.
grief everyone I see.
What if you can't do that anymore? What if they've changed
Right.
everything?
They haven't
Look, I'm-
changed.
Yeah,
I'm
what
gonna
if
be
you
real,
can
bro.
only play golf?
They haven't changed shit.
I'm gonna
That'd
be-
be
I'm gonna be-
fucking awesome.
That'd be sick. If I can just
That
play
would be all-
golf and
golf
putt-putt
world?
with the boys,
Yeah.
I'm in.
I'm gonna
That
be
would actually
100%
be
real with you guys. I am a sucker for a love story. Like,
Ooh, oh, that one.
No,
went
dude, me
wrong.
too. That's what I'm saying.
Nice.
If one of them dies in this fucking story, I am gonna cry. It will.
Oh, I
yeah,
don't
dude,
give a
like
shit.
even fucking like Expedition 33. This isn't a spoiler because it literally happens
Holy
in the first
shit.
cutscene of the game.
Here we go. I actually don't want to know. I actually don't want to know.
When you turn on the game,